Hello, my spooky friends. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can use online designs to create a fun boo bag or Halloween gift for your friends and coworkers. The files I'm using all come from one of my favorite designers, Tracy Vanover Designs. You can find her stuff on Etsy and also in Silhouette Design Store. So with this first one, I am going to be using a heat transfer vinyl from StyleTech Craft. So first I open up the design in my design studio and I resize it so that it's going to fit on the cap that I'll be making. Now, since my cap is narrow, I'm going to adjust the design slightly, which is really easy to do. Just ungroup the file and then I can move these bats around so I can make the design long and narrow to fit perfectly on the cap. Since this is heat transfer, after I resize it, I'm going to want to mirror that image so that when I cut it out, it looks backward, right? Until I iron it on. I'm using a black matte heat transfer vinyl from StyleTech Craft. You can find all those links in the video description. And now I'm going to head over to my next part of the project, which is cutting a design from vinyl. Once again, this is one of Tracy's awesome designs that you can find in the Silhouette Design Store. And I'm going to resize that to fit my bag. And then I am duplicating it. This is kind of what I do when I want to cut vinyl from different colors. If I'm not able to ungroup it, then I will duplicate it and erase parts of the design so that I can ungroup them that way. Now, you don't have to do this, but I like to change the color to the vinyls I'm planning to use because I'm such a visual person. And so this way I can see what it's going to look like before I cut it all out. So I'm going with classic Halloween colors, green and black and purple. I left out orange, but that's okay. I really love green, black, and purple together, so that's what I did. And then I will group the designs by color. So I've got everything that's going to get cut from green together. I'm putting all the purple together. And then I put them in the 4 corners of my mat so that I can cut out the vinyl and place it in the 4 corners of the mat like so. So I only have to cut it once. And there it is. Again, this is StyleTech Craft Vinyl in glitter. All right, and finally, for the last part of this project, I want to make a tag to go on my boo bag Halloween gift. So I'm opening up that file. Before I did that, I made sure that I opened up my print settings so that it shows on my studio software there. I'm going to resize the tag and then I want to offset it and weld that together. The reason I'm welding it is I only want it cut around that edge. I don't want it to cut both the inside and the outside. So to put it together, you have to weld it. I'm adding a little circle there for the top of my tag and then grouping it all together. And next I'm going to be ready to print and cut these. Now I don't want to waste a sheet of paper, so I'm going to fit as many of these as I can onto that page so I can get 4 tags done at once. Now I'm going to print that out onto regular cardstock paper. So I've already put the cardstock in my home printer, and then I'm just going to print this out on that cardstock. There it is. Then I will place it on my cutting mat and choose the settings for regular cardstock and let my machine cut out right along those edges. It's also going to cut out the circle in the middle. And here are my tags, all nice and ready to distress. And now that everything has been cut, it's time to start weeding. This is my least favorite part of this kind of crafting, but it's a lot easier to do with the StyleTech Craft vinyl and heat transfer vinyls. I don't dread it as much as I used to. You'll notice that these designs have some very thin letters and some very detailed elements to them, which you can't always cut with all vinyls, but these vinyls really work great with tiny details. So I'm starting out with the heat transfer vinyl, and even with those itty bitty bat wings, I haven't had any issues. They cut beautifully and it's weeding nicely. And once I've got the bulk of it off, I can pick out those tiny little inserts in the letters. Then I'm just going to hold it in place with some itty bitty clothespins and move on to my regular vinyl. Because like I said, I just like to get all the weeding over with at one time, and then I can move on to the next part of the project. So, just put on your favorite tunes, relax, start weeding. The broom and the stars weeded really easily. These larger letters were also easy to weed. I really, really, really love this glitter vinyl. It's so cool. The sparkle is beautiful, and you don't get any of the mess that you have with regular glitter because it's right there in the vinyl. It's not going to shed. And even with all that glitter in it, it's still very easy to cut and to weed, as you can see. I saved the green one for last because that's the teeny tiny text. But as I mentioned before, this vinyl is so easy to weed. I just had to take my time, poke out the corners at the top, and then I could just peel this back and reveal that beautiful text. I'm using a StyleTech craft weeding tool to help release all those letters and to get out the itty bitty little pieces inside the O's and the A's. Now I'm grabbing my transfer tape. This is also from StyleTech Craft. I like to use this clear one so I can see my design. That makes it a lot easier to center it and to help layer elements when you do have a layered project. So making sure it is stuck, I like to put the vinyl right side down and peel the backing off. That makes it a little bit easier to release the vinyl. And I always start with the largest part of the text, get that centered and where I want it on the gift bag. And then I'm going to grab each of the elements and layer them onto the bag. Now, this is where you kind of get to use your creativity. The design that Tracy made is absolutely fabulous, but if you need to rearrange it a little bit to fit your bag, then you can do that easily here. I didn't put the stars in the exact same place, honestly, because I couldn't remember where they all went, but it was fun to just kind of lay them out on the bag the way I wanted to decorate it. Once you have all the pieces on the bag, you can always embellish the bag more. I really like a clean and simple design, which is why I went with a white bag and then put the glitter vinyl on top. I feel like this helps that glitter really pop since it has that nice clean background. I'm also keeping it simple with the tag. I'm going to distress the edges with some ink. I just rub that ink pad all the way around to help give the edges a kind of, scuffed up darker look that will match the cool tag. And now for the last piece, the cap. I don't have a cap form, so I am using a foam pumpkin to hold my cap in place so I can iron that vinyl right onto it. You don't want to iron right onto the plastic, it will melt, so you put a cover sheet on top. And then once it's set, peel that cover piece off. And then I always like to cover it and iron it one more time just to make sure that all the ends are ironed on securely and it won't peel off later. And how cute is that? Squad ghouls. This will be so much fun to give to my friends. So putting it all together, there's that amazing sparkle on the bag with that really fun design. The tag has been tied on with a bit of orange ribbon, and this boo bag is ready to gift for Halloween. Wouldn't it be fun to receive something like this? Have fun crafting and creating for Halloween. Ciao.